When the Scream dropped in 1978, Siouxsie and the Banshees weren't just releasing a debut album, they were detonating a sonic charge that would echo through multiple generations of musicians. At a time when punk was already burning fast and wild, the Scream offered something darker and stranger and more theatrical. It wasn't just punk stripped to the bone. It was punk dragged through a haunted house, fractured through shards of postmodern disillusionment and primal noise. Let's start with the sound. Guitarist John rejected traditional riffs in the favor of textures and dissonant scraping tones and, flangered, feedback loops that felt more like industrial machinery than rock and roll. That abrasive minimalist approach became the touchstone of post-punk bands trying to escape the blues-based structures of earlier rock. Joy Division, for instance, took clear notes from the Scream, adopting that skeletal rhythm section and icy detachment. The Cure, in their early years, were deeply inspired by the album's atmosphere. Its cold and echo-laden production shaped their gothic leaning. Then there's the role of Siouxsie Sioux herself. As a front woman, she embodied both ferocity and alien glamour. Her performance on the Scream, especially tracks like, Jigsaw Feeling and Mirage, helped redefine what is meant to be a woman in rock. It wasn't simply singing, she was, summoning. Artists like PJ Harvey, Shirley Manson, and even Bjork have cited her as a major influence, not just vocally, but in terms of fearless, self-presentation. But the Scream doesn't limit the post-punk cold corridors. Its jagged intensity bled into the DNA of noise rock. Bands like Sonic Youth and Swans embraced the same willingness to make guitar sounds wrong, violently expressive rather than, melodically pretty. The album's closer, a disturbingly cover of the Beatles' Helter Skelter, was a punk noise manifesto. It showed the future generation that destruction would be its own kind of art. Alternative rock in the 80s and 90s, like Pixies, Radiohead, and early Smashing Pumpkins, owes more than a passing debt to the Scream. The idea that rock could be cerebral and unsettling and visually stylized starts here. Even Nirvana loved the raw emotion layered under noise, finds a kiltered spirit in the album's brutal elegance. So when we talk about the Scream, we're not just talking about a debut record, we're talking about a seminal shift. It's an album that, challenged the rules of genres and gender and sonic space. And in doing so, it didn't just influence a few artists, it rewrote the possibilities of what alternative music could be. If you haven't checked this album out, check it out. Absolutely love Siouxsie and the Banshees, and happy World Goth Day, everybody.